Hey YouTube and Rectify fans, I'm finally back with my preview slash review slash predictions for season 3 of the best show you're not watching on television. I'm not sure why there's not more fans of the show considering all the critical acclaim and how amazing the show is. Maybe it's the marketing budget, maybe the show is just too slow for the ADHD generation of reality TV show people out there. But the show is amazing. Sundance just had the binge on the 4th of July DVR marathon where you had season 1's 6 episodes and season 2's 10 episodes. That's 16 hours of Rectify binging that you could DVR this weekend. And season 3 starts this Thursday. Season 3 is only 6 episodes, 6 hours long, but I'm looking forward to it ever so much. So if you're not caught up with the first 2 seasons, then stop listening to this right now. And also, if you don't want to know my predictions or any type of potential plot details that are released by Sundance regarding season 3, then also stop listening. All right, with that out of the way, the first episode is called Hoorah, and according to Sundance, it says surprise and dismay spread in the aftermath of Daniel's confession. DA Sondra Person has some questions, and Sheriff Daggett finds George Melton. So in case you forgot, George Melton is the guy that killed himself in season 1, episode 1. Now his body is being washed up and discovered. Okay, so in the last episode of season 2, Daniel did make a sort of confession, but is it the truth? He's kind of given us different versions of the story. Is one of the versions a cover story? According to HitFix, it says, is Daniel's confession a way to let folks dangle on the edge of a rope for a little bit as punishment for what he put the younger Daniel through? And how much does Daniel actually remember? Either way, that whole ending scene in season 2 allows for multiple interpretations. And as I've said all along, the show is not really a murder mystery. Of course it's a murder mystery, but that's really not the main focus or the main reason I watch the show. In some ways, this show is reminiscent of Twin Peaks with its mystery, and yet in other ways it's reminiscent of Seinfeld because nothing really happens, or at least you think nothing's happening because everything that's happening is usually happening in between the lines. Clayne Crawford, who plays Ted Jr., says that this season the family is lost, and everyone's holding so many secrets. It's never about what's being said, it's about what's in between the lines, and the family is beginning to take sides. J.D. Evermore, who plays Sheriff Daggett, tweets, "The time in between the seconds on Rectify often take up more than 140 characters and say more than most any tweet." I couldn't agree more. The quiet moments, the silent beats between dialogue, the extended scenes where there's no dialogue, this is all what makes Rectify so captivating and say more than words ever can. So here's a breakdown of Season 3, Episode 1. Daniel Holden is once again a convicted murderer. As Janet tries to host one last family dinner, Amantha retreats to the county line bar with Jon Stern. While Amantha slowly accepts that Daniel has re-confessed to Hanna Dean's murder and tries to move on with her life, Jon fears he has failed both his client and his ex-girlfriend. Unable to reach Tawney, Ted Jr. reluctantly stops by Ted and Janet's and is relieved to discover she hasn't been in touch with Daniel. Nearly out of options, Tawney finds refuge with friends, but it's not a permanent solution. A concerned Ted Sr. confronts Daniel about his violent impulses and suggests he move in with Amantha. In the aftermath of Daniel's confession, DA Sondra Person has some lingering questions about his version of events, but Senator Roland Foulkes insists that it's time to move on. Before she can pursue her concerns, Sheriff Carl Daggett shares some unwelcome news. A body has turned up in the Flint River, and it's almost certainly George Melton. This sure sounds like a great start to Season 3. Aidan Young was quoted as saying that Season 3 is unpredictable, and he says it's suspense, mystery, and great drama. And I just can't wait to see how the family lines divide, who's going to be on which side. I feel like it's going to be an elegant unraveling of all the main characters. I think that Tawney is changing, her views are evolving. There could be a new love interest for Amantha. I hope that Jared, Daniel's half-brother, that his role is expanded now that he's showing some curiosity into Hanna Dean's murder. Ray McKinnon, the creator, says this season's about personal growth, and I can't wait to see what happens. It's basically a 6-hour movie that's going to be stretched out over 6 weeks. I'd love to hear your comments, your predictions, your thoughts. Are you a huge fan? Let me know in the comments section. Please rate, review, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll try to be a little bit more diligent and give you a review/recap on Thursday or very soon thereafter.